After all that, there'll be an opportunity for you to ask any questions you might have of me.
Okay.
All right, so let's jump in here. Juan, how did you learn about this opening?
I applied online.
Okay. Do you remember where you saw the position?
Maybe it was Indeed.com or let me see. I think it was.
Helps us with tracking where we're getting our traction from and all.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Indeed.com.
Okay, that's great. Have you applied for any other positions with Nestle or Nestle Purina?
No, I think this is the first time I ever applied. Because I don't think Nestle comes to the University of Florida for the career fair. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that Nestle does. I know at Purina we don't go to any career fairs. We do all of our recruiting virtually.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you are authorized to work in the United States, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Will you now or in the future require sponsorship for your employment status?
No.
Okay. So what is it that interested you in Nestle Purina?
Well, Nestle is the world's largest food and beverage company. It has more than 2,000 brands. It is present in 191 countries around the world, which gives me the opportunity to travel. Nestle is ranked 64th in the Fortune 500, and most importantly, Nestle's training program is ranked among the highest in the United States. Well, it applies to. I started the company. It's called Empower Prosthetics, and it kind of taught me to. It got me exposed to a whole bunch of like different areas, like the manufacturing side, logistics, accounting, administration, and I saw that the program makes you go around like different subsections. I think it's 8 subsections. Information systems, quality assurance, supply chain, accounting, human resources, production, research and development, and operations performance, which is I've been exposed to a lot of those things, but not like specifics, and I would like to learn more specifics about all of them.
Are you there, Juan?
Yeah, there was somebody knocking on my door, sorry.
Okay. Sorry, that's all right. Okay, good. So where do you see your career taking you in 5 to 10 years?
It's hard to tell, but I definitely want to make a difference on helping just people with their problems, taking on challenges that I could possibly not think of, starting a family.
What kind of a role would you like to make?
Definitely a leadership position where I can really make a big impact for the company I work for. Because I studied chemical engineering, and I'm really good with analytical problems, and like just thinking outside the box, which is like really fun and everything. But I found out that just interacting with other people is a lot more engaging and like I guess funner in some sort of way, uh, because like no, there you won't run into the same person twice ever. So there's a lot of things that very like you have to be ready on the spot, like catches you off your feet. So I think that's like amazing.
Okay, good. Good. So this program, for the first 18 to 24 months, you would be at our production facility in Davenport, Iowa. Is that something you'd be comfortable with?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. And then after that, you would be asked to move to one of our other locations throughout the U.S. We have 15 different locations from California to Georgia to New York to Nebraska. We're all over the U.S. Are you comfortable with that kind of indeterminate relocation in a couple of years?
Yeah, I would. I want to travel, and I want to go to locations that I would have never thought of I would go.
Okay, great. off at 66,000 a year. Is that something you're comfortable with?
Yeah.
Great. All right, let's look at your resume now. Now you're in school now, right?
Yep.
Okay. What school are you at?
University of Florida.
And what's your major?
Chemical engineering.
Okay. What's your GPA?
3.8.
And your expected graduation?
At the end of the spring, so May 2018.
Okay, great. Great. That's good. And then the program would then start in June of that year. Let's look at your work experience here. We'll start with your most recent position and work our way backwards. So just tell me where you're at, what your title was, and then the top line on your duties there.
So right now I started a company called Empower Prosthetics, and what we do is we're building myoelectric prosthetics for kids, which the difference between, there's a few different types of prosthetics. You can have like manual ones that has like no electronics. You can have prosthetics that are built into you, which are invasive, and non-invasive myoelectric is when you put muscle sensors on top of your muscles, and depending on what your muscles do, the prosthetic does functions, depending on like what you can program them. So my position is, I was the founder and I'm the chairman right now. It's like I don't know how to describe my position because I jump from department to department all the time. Like I usually go into work and I have like a set thing, but I kind of get deviated like all the time because I'm just jumping from meeting to meeting to meeting, and like when people have problems, I just have to like go to it, like, so I just like solve problems all day.
So have you started producing anything yet? Are you still designing?
So we produced a hand. We have a working hand right now. We produced 3 fingers. We had 3 original fingers, and we chose one of them, and then from that finger that we chose, we have 3 modifications that we're trying out right now. We changed the palm because the way we set it up, like we broke it up into like smaller components, like the joints, the palm, the thumb, the mechanism, electronics, and programming. So that's the update for the hand, I guess. The wrist, we prototyped 3 designs, and now we picked one of them, and we're on the second round of improvements for that design. For the forearm,
did you do the designing on this?
no, I tell them like what I want. Like I kind of guide them. I didn't study I chose this project because I can't apply any of my knowledge to it. So it's something that caught me completely off guard, and I like putting myself in like uncomfortable situations because I like to like learn and grow. But I work very closely with all the engineers, and I have to learn a little, like just enough. I wish I could learn in depth a lot, but since I'm in charge of everything, I have to just like know enough to guide them some more. But I gave them some constraints and like some design opinions that I had. And okay, so for the wrist, we have 2 designs. We have one using the servo motor and another one using a linear actuator. And we're gonna start the elbow design in the fall because we were gonna start it over the summer, but the elbow, like if you look up prosthetics for elbows, no company does the elbow because the voltage, that motor it requires like too much voltage, and anything over a milliamp will kill you. So there's like a safety concern. So we started out from easy to harder, and now that we have the hand, the wrist, and the forearm, we're gonna start developing the elbow in the fall.
Are these all students that you're working with?
Yeah. Some of them are master's students, some of them are PhD students. Do you have my resume in front of you?
Yeah.
Is the website, is the link, do you have a link? Do you see the link?
Oh, yeah, I see it right there.
Yeah, so if you click on that link, like, you can see a lot of information about us.
Okay, great. That's cool. Okay, and you said you're currently doing that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so... Oh, I see. That's under the leadership positions as opposed to employment. Okay, I see what's going on with that. All right, good. Let's see. So, looks like you did an internship with EchoSmart Surface Technology.
Oh, yeah, so I worked in the coding department, and I was in charge of making sure that the mixtures were being composed correctly. I also did a little bit of research with an anti-slip coating. I did quality control, and what else did I do? It was very basic because I took that internship when I was in community college, so I didn't know much.
Sure.
But I just learned like about procedures and paying attention to detail and writing everything down so you don't backtrace.
Okay, good. And let's see. You worked as a research assistant with the University of Florida.
Oh yeah, I did research at the university over the summer. It wasn't really my thing. I designed an experiment for fluid stability between two liquids and extractions from metals in rice. For the fluid instability, I looked at how the interface breaks using different surfactants and distortions in the environment. And for extracting metals from rice, I was comparing methods that we found on research papers and seeing if tweaking like the exposure to substances or temperatures would make a difference on the type of rice that we had.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Let's move on to our behavioral interview questions now. So I don't know if you've had an opportunity to interview where they've asked these types of questions before, but essentially I'm just going to ask you about something that's happened in your past, and I want you to tell me about a specific time when that's happened, all right?
Okay.
All right, so tell me about a time that you were the first to identify a problem or issue that had potentially significant impact.
When I identify an issue. Okay, so during my work at planning, design, and construction at UF, I saw that the way that they were taking. Okay, so let me just describe to you what the program, like what I was working on. I was evaluating different methods of removing ceiling tiles. So I didn't see it as a problem at first, but I know I wanted to look at very closely of how the people were removing the tiles. So I set up cameras in the rooms and I put cameras on the people, on the workers, and I went over the footage and I tried to break down it down into like sub goals, I would say, like subsystems. And I found out that workers were like, when they would take down the tiles, they wouldn't put them in like one big pile. They would put them around the room. They were being like, they were using like, they weren't choosing the correct methods for each room. Like, for example, you can use a ladder, which requires two people. You can use a scaffolder, which requires two people as well. You could do this tool called the Tile Rex, which requires one person. So I broke it down into like different scenarios, I guess. I found out like which method was more effective, and we found out that it was scaffolding, but scaffolding sometimes doesn't work because the room might be too small, or there'll be like an angle. The room is like angled, or the room has like built-in stuff such as like desks and chairs. So I saw that the employees didn't really have a specific guideline for the different types of scenarios. So I made a video reporting all my findings, and I broke it down into like, if you go into a room, you should do this first, and then check for this, and then like a very structured guideline of how they should do it. So like the main problem that I saw was, I guess, miscommunication between the employees and the contractors. I also noticed that um, each so it's kind of weird because UF contracts these, they hire a company which hires another person, which then that person hires a bunch of people to come in and do the job. So each day there would be different people at the job. So there was no communication between both teams, if that makes sense. So I wrote all it down, and there's a video of all the work that I did on my LinkedIn, if you want to look at that.
Yeah. So, why was that an issue?
What was that?
Why was that an issue that there wasn't that communication?
When was there?
Or why was it an issue?
Oh, because it was not effective at all. It was just, the workers were, one worker was doing one thing while another worker was doing something else, and if I looked at the work that they were doing, it was not effective at all.
What effect was that having?
It would save the company a lot of money. Like, I did the analysis, and it was a few $1,000s per floor.
Why did they have different groups coming in every day?
Because so UF calls a contractor, and that contractor calls a subcontractor, and that subcontractor has different employees. But it wasn't always the same. It wasn't always the same batch of employees. They would, I never really understood how that worked, but I know there was like the same person was not there twice.
So what was your solution?
Well, there's no particular solution to it, because that depends on it's so far down the line that it's impossible to control, because we were talking to only the first company, and that was like way far the line. The only reason why we thought that was an issue was because one of the tools, the Tilerex Pro, did require like some sort of experience for it to be effective, so for it to be better than scaffolding. So we told them that if you're gonna have, you should have like a one person that's very knowledgeable with this tool, because that's the most effective tool.
Okay. All right. So you talk about creating this video, and I'm assuming the video was to train the employees on.
No.
What they
That
should be doing.
this video is for the first company to look at, and to tell themselves like this method. So I broke it down into different cases for different scenarios. So then they could go and tell the people who are in charge of the project to do these like step by step. Like, you go into a room and you check this. If this doesn't work, then you go to the next option. And that if that option works, then you do it that way. If that option doesn't work, then you go to the next step. Like for example, if the room is really small, you're not gonna bring in a scaffolder, because it's a pain. You have to disassemble it and take it in through the door and then assemble it again. So it's just like a different tool for a different job.
Sure. And I'm assuming that the people who are coming in and doing the work each day aren't practiced tile removers.
No.
Right? Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. So were you able to see results from this?
We're doing another study again in the fall to break it down even more. But I mean, we did compare, like on the video. I think it says $1,600. It would have saved them. Let me pull it up really quick. Oh yeah, so almost 2,000 if you use the Talrex.
Okay.
So if you want to look at it, it's you go to YouTube and type in University of Florida ceiling recycling.
Good. I will check that out. All right. That's good. All right. Well, that's good. Let's move on. I've got one more question for you here. So tell me about a project that you successfully completed despite running into obstacles.
Definitely starting the company was the hardest thing I ever done. So the way that it started was I was with another group called Limitless Solution, which is a company out of UCF that branched out to UF. And I was helping them designing a prosthetic for swimming. So it's kind of like the end of a fish's tail. I didn't really like their leadership, so me and another person helped me make like a sketch of a design for a prosthetic, and I asked them if it would be okay if like we could like start this project, and they told me like I just have to like recruit my own people. So I thought that was that was okay. So then I started recruiting, and I recruited all last year's fall. And I did a little bit more in the beginning of the spring. And when I had a lot of people, I told the leaders of the branch in Gainesville that, hey, like I have all these people who showed interest. I'm gonna meet with them on 2 days. I spoke to them on Wednesday. No, I spoke to them on Monday, and the meeting was on Wednesday. So when I told them that, they told me that, well, we weren't really supposed to be like building our own thing, that we were just supposed to be like improving upon what the main branch was giving us. And I was kind of confused because I asked them like if I could do this, and they said yes. So then I asked them like, what should I do? And they told me that I should just like stop answering to emails and stuff, and I was just like, well, I'm not gonna do that. So then I had two.
Stop answering emails?
Yeah.
Of the people who were interested.
Yeah, I mean, I already told everybody that I was meeting them on Wednesday, so I was just like, oh man, like I have 2 days to get ready, and like I can't count on these people, so it's just like me by myself. So I had to interview a bunch of people, pick leaders, train them within 2 days, and that's how I got started. and there was like more problems down the line. There was like a million problems, but it's been really fun because like dealing with people is something that I was not 100% familiar with. I learned at UF to break problems down in like critical thinking and just to try like UF taught me that life is not about how hard you can punch, is how hard you can get punched and get backed up. So I just went at it like nonstop, and this over the summer we gave people internship, which is something that I wanted to do because I didn't get that opportunity, and just to help people out. And I wrote 3 recommendations letters, and 2 of the people got jobs. So I'm really happy about that.
Okay. So, did you have to, what am I trying to think of here? Get together resources for this group to use?
Well, yeah, just like my own money. But we do have sponsors that are helping us with some advice for like registering the company as a 501c3 and doing like bank account stuff and finance. There's another company that's helping us with just giving us advice with how to build electronics and like the design process and the manufacturing side of it. We are gonna start like raising money in the fall once because we want to like I can't just ask for money when we have nothing built, but now that we have something built, we have something to show for, so that should be pretty fun in the fall.
So how did you get those first few companies that have been helping you now?
I just talked to them and I pitched them my idea. Well, this is
How
like
did you identify those companies?
what?
How did you identify those companies as people to reach out to?
Just through talking to people, like I just told them about my idea, and they just like, oh, just talk to this person, and so on and so forth. Like I tried with like a million companies, but most of them said no. But I just keep trying. That's the secret to life. You just gotta keep trying.
Okay. All right, and everything's working smoothly now?
I mean, we have like your daily problems, but
Sure.
we're gonna
Moving forward, though.
yeah we're expected to have the arms by December. We want to give them out for Christmas.
Okay, that's great. That's a good one. That's the last question I've got for you here. Now, do you have any questions for me?
Oh yeah, is the management development program preparing me to be a engineering project manager?
Yeah, an engineering manager, yeah. So not necessarily product, but a leader in the engineering department. So working on capital improvement projects, stuff like that.
So would it be engineering manager or engineering project manager?
Would be engineering manager.
What's the difference between manager and project manager?
I think that they're the same thing, really. I don't think we put the project in there in the title, and that you're managing projects. Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Another question is,
Yeah.
Nestle had a layoff of 1,400 employees in Singapore in 2017. In 2016, there were 77 employees laid off the Tampa office. In 2014, there were 100 factory jobs removed. What steps is the company taking to avoid these layoffs in the future?
So you have to make a distinction between Nestle and Nestle Purina. We operate largely separately from the Nestle groups, and we are in the opposite situation. It's been mode in that respect.
Okay, good. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
What are the biggest challenges?
So if you look at like the sales versus profit aspects or ratios that we have with Purina or with Nestle, I don't remember the exact numbers, but we were like in the U.S. we were like 30% of their sales, but 40% of the profit to the Nestle group.
Oh, wow.
The Purina group is strong.
Okay, good. Great to hear. What are the biggest challenges facing the company right now?
Well, one is getting our production up, so that we can, and like I'm an HR, so I have a very limited understanding of all these things, so that we can meet the demand for what we have. As I said, that's our focus now, scaling up the production. And then we've got, competitors in the market who are starting to take more of our share in that we're starting to see the food trends, and we've seen it for a few years now, change in pet food as they have in human food, where there's more of a push towards organics and gluten-free and grain-free, stuff like that. And so people who tend to feed those types of foods tend not to have very strong trust in large corporate entities to create their food. And that's a challenge for us, how to combat that. And something that we're working on.
Okay. Wow. Describe the culture of the company inside and outside of work.
Well, there's a strong balance between the two. Our philosophy is that strong employee, someone who's productive while they're here, won't be spending all their whole day worried about what's going on outside of work. So we like to be flexible in, when you're working, maybe where you're working, if that helps. And maintaining that strong work-life balance, we feel is important to having successful employees. With that in mind, people here do tend to be passionate about what they do. I mean, we tend to be pet lovers, and we, at the corporate office here at least, we have pets in the office. We can't do that in the production facility.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Obviously you can't do that in production because it's still food.
Yeah.
But here we do, and, we get to see our customers on a daily basis and see who it is that we're impacting, so that, it's the health of these pets that we love. And that kind of, I don't want to make it too lofty, but impacts how we look at our job and how we see what we do. Gives it a little bit more importance to us. So people tend to be passionate about what they do.
That's awesome. Are you a dog or a cat person?
I'm a dog person.
Me too.
Allergic to cats. Kind of limits options there.
When would I expect to hear back from you guys?
So what's going to happen from here is I'm going to forward my notes along with your resume to the hiring team, and then they'll be deciding who they want to bring in for face-to-face interviews. You should hear back from us in a week to 2 weeks, but you'll hear from us one way or the other.
Okay, cool. Last question. What are the working hours for the program, like Monday through Friday?
It depends. Sometimes it's going to be, I'm not sure they're in Davenport exactly what shifts they were working. Typically it will be regular business hours. Sometimes, though, as part of this program, you will be asked to come in and work on the evening or night shifts, second or third shift, just to get that experience and understand what is different about that group than the day group. So it's typically going to be normal business hours, like maybe an 8 to 5 or whatever.
Okay. I think those are all my questions.
Okay. All right, Juan. Well, thank you for your time today. If you do have any questions or anything, please feel free to reach back to me. Otherwise, just want to thank you for your time today.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, Juan. You have a nice day now.
You too. Bye-bye. Yeah, what up?
It went well.
Yeah, we guessed some of the questions that they were gonna ask me.
Oh, and they were all correct?
No, I think we got 2 questions right.
Okay.
Well, no, we guessed 2 of them right. The other one was, when did you spot a problem?
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, I had to think about that one.
What were the other 2 that we got right?
It's like, why do you want to work at Nestle, and like name a time that you like had like a challenge or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he asked me about my resume, and I had written exactly what to say about it.
You just read it off?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I had that written for like last year because I just memorized the lines. Like I memorized from the second I went up to the recruiter, and if the recruiter interrupted me, then I was fucked.
Wait, what? Say that again?
Like I had everything written down, like so as soon as like I walked up to the recruiter, like what to say and then how to start off my resume, but if he stopped me and he's like, what about this, then I would forget the rest of the dialogue.
He didn't stop you the whole time?
Well, he did, but I had it written down in front of me so I could.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it went well. I think it went pretty well. I asked him if this position gets me ready for the project manager one. He said yeah. So.
Okay, that's good.
That's good to hear.
Okay. It sounds like everything went well, so they're gonna get back to you with the second interview?
Yeah, he passes like his results to like another team, and then the other team either flies me up or rejects me, so we'll see.
Okay. Now we gotta practice for the next one.
Yeah, I gotta. But I mean, as long as I wrote it down. I wrote everything down, and
Yeah, so there's not really much more. It's just basically like going through all the same stuff again.
just memorize that shit. Memorize the shit.
Yeah, we can look up